Good morning, everybody. As always, if you like terrible replays, misidentified ships, or just want to hear me drink coffee during a voiceover, then please drop a like on the video, please drop a sub on the channel. It really does help us a lot. Alright, so what are we looking at today? We've got a video within a video. I've tried to do it before. There's some mixed reactions with commentary on how to do it. The ships involved, it is Louise in his Massachusetts, Reichenbacker in his Massachusetts, and He-Man in an Alabama. 2 Alabama games in one go. The point of views will be, the main point of view is Louise in his Massachusetts. The top left point of view will be Reichenbacker in his Massachusetts, and then every once in a while you'll see He-Man in his Alabama come through into the screen. Alright. So they are on Epicenter here. One of my favorite game modes. As everybody knows, I would like to one day meet the developers that decided that this game mode was a good game mode. Yes, let people fight over 3 circles. And I'm not a fan for it because, to an extent, if you're in a destroyer or this match there's 4 destroyers, so it's not that bad. But if you're in a single destroyer or there's only 2 destroyers, on both the teams you're basically neutralizing your game for 15 minutes because both the destroyers will head to the center circle, try and capture that center circle, and without the proper support, both of you are in a stalemate. You'll both sit behind that islands in the 6 line there, or you will sit either side of the little island square in the middle, and you'll try and outplay each other. But you can't take too many chances because then you lose a destroyer and you're out of a destroyer for the match. Now the poor carrier, the Ryujo, makes a mistake of flying into the AA bubble of 2 Massachusetts and an Alabama. And as we know from World War II, the Americans pretty much put an AA gun on every open space that they could find on any of their ships. From destroyers to cruisers to battleships. If there was an open spot, and they put a gun there, an anti-aircraft gun. There's an enemy Massachusetts, and when Louise fires, we can see that he is also using Halsey on his Massachusetts, the colored shell tracers, and then of course the Massachusetts is a secondary build. As we see, he's got his secondaries on the Amalfi. They're just out of range, and it's a nice way to do it because you can have Halsey as captain on both the Georgia and the Massachusetts, both secondary builds with his special commander skills. Now there's speedy death pylons coming in, and we see He-Man in his Alabama do a fine torpedo beat there. Doesn't take any hits. And Louise's secondary starts opening up. Ooh, and He-Man paddles that Amalfi. And the Farragut gets a torpedo on him. Enemy Farragut kills the friendly Kagero. And as you can see, the destroyers are fighting there for the center control. Louise has got his secondaries now on a Colorado. Changes it over to a secondary, so
all stations requesting fire on the designated target.
Enemy Bismarck, secondaries the Farragut, the friendly Farragut down. And Anchorage takes out the enemy Farragut. So Louise's team has lost 2 DDs. The enemy team has lost a cruiser and a DD. And there's a Colorado that has now unfortunately appeared in front of no less than 3 Tier 8 American battleships. The Colorado is not exactly the fastest ship. He's trying to run away, but it's not going to be super successful. Enemy Kagero torpedoes the friendly Graf Spee, and that Kagero gets a devastating strike. Ooh, Louise knocks him for 8,000 and disables the gun as well. Ouch, and Louise loses a gun and 10,700 there to the enemy Massachusetts there. And Louise gets the Colorado kill with a fire. Enemy Fubuki kills the friendly Gneisenau. And Louise's team is actually one ship down. Enemy Fuso makes his appearance, realizes there's 3 battleships coming at him, and decides, no, I'm turning around. I'm turning around, I'm getting out of here. Now the Fuso was a ship I did enjoy, but as Louise gets a close quarters expert. As I was saying, the Fuso was actually one of these ships that I did enjoy, but the dispersion on it was just trolly. Friendly Fubuki gets a devastating strike on the enemy Icarus. And suddenly Louise and Reichenbacher's team are 1 kill up. But they still don't have a circle control. At least they are controlling the... well, stopping the points gain on the circle. Enemy Farragut kills the friendly Fubuki, and it evens out to 5 ships down each. Now that Massachusetts is obviously not staying around. There is 2 Alabamas and a Massachusetts coming for him. He doesn't want any part of this. And remember, Reichenbacher's Massachusetts is also secondary build, so he's also got his secondaries working. Enemy Pensacola takes out the friendly Dunkirk.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship. Affirmative.
And Louise and the guys successfully managed to capture the outer and the middle ring in this epicenter game mode, as the enemy Massachusetts is trying to get out of dodge. The Ryujo is still coming in to try and rocket the poor Farragut in the smoke here, and he runs smack into a bubble.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Speedy death pylons coming in for Louise, but his secondary hits managed to start a fire. Shakes his mouse a bit, probably trying to clean the mouse. And he gets hydroed, even while in smoke. Yeah, that'll be the Bismarck. Bismarck's got the legendary German hydro. I think it's 6k, 5 or 6k hydro. Oof. And Louise takes a speedy death pylon. Reichenbacher gets close quarters on that enemy Bismarck. And then Ryujo is coming in towards that AA bubble again. He's a brave man. Now Louise and Reichenbacher's team has finally got the upper hand shipwise. They are 1 kill ahead. As a poor Pensacola comes in. 2 overpens on the Pensacola. He is very, very lucky not to get. My Farragut takes a chance with his torpedo launch there. But he wants to unseat that Fubuki. And with obviously with a backup of 3 battleship, he's just going ham. He's like, I brought my 3 big brothers. Reichenbacher kills the Fubuki outright. And the Farragut's like, see, I brought my brothers. Oof. He-Man in Alabama paddles the Pensacola while Louise did get one citadel on him. More speedy death pylons coming in.
Torpedoes to port.
Kagero is in smoke, while it is in North Carolina on Louise's left side. So with the Farragut obviously realizing he's got the backup of the 3 battleships here, 2 of which are secondary build. He is pushing that smoke. He wants to see if I can proximity spot the Kagero. At the moment the Kagero is proximity spotted, the secondaries start opening up. And yeah, you might think the secondaries aren't very effective, but if it's secondaries from 2 Massachusetts shooting at you, yeah, at some stage one of those shells are going to hit you repeatedly. And Louise gets his second close quarters expert by killing the Kagero with his secondaries. Only 2 ships remaining now. The North Carolina and the Ryujo. And as Louise gets Confederate, Halsey procs. And that obviously means the armament reloads quicker, etc. And this is my... Ooh, and then He-Man also gets a Confederate. So the guys really, really have been carrying, really have been pushing very, very hard. Well, Louise disables one of the North Carolina's guns. And Louise asks the remainder of his team to please spot the enemy CV.
Taking the lead.
So far on the right ribbon, 103 secondary hits, and if you look at the top, he's got a 291 secondary hits. So, yeah, well over 400 secondary hits happening. And that should be the death of the North Carolina. Louise gets his 4th kill for the match. Louise also gets an assisted capture ribbon. His 3rd one for the match. They've got all the outer rings. It is now literally just funding the Ryujo and obviously getting him out of the match. And North Carolina's asking, is like, how does his shots not do anything to the Massachusetts? And it's all about angling. He was trying to shoot at the hull, he needed to shoot at the superstructure. Ryujo brings torpedo bombers into a very nasty flak bubble, and they don't even make it. And Louise asks, where's your CV? And he goes, lick me and I'll tell you. Oh, the North American server. Every once in a while you'll get a salty person, but most of the time it's actually a very, very pleasant bunch. And as the match ends, we'll look at the end statistics here. Louise has got 141,000 damage, Confederate 4 kills. Reichenbacher has got 102,000, he's also got 2 kills. Fantastic game, guys. Hope everybody enjoys it. Stay safe out there. Take care. Cheers.